You know that moment biting into a really, really good breakfast sandwich. Just pure satisfaction.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And apparently, we're not alone. Something like 78% of Americans agree it's their top morning meal.
That sounds about right. Comfort food first thing.
But here's the thing that gets me. Only about 23% of people have actually tried making, say, a proper restaurant-style chicken biscuit at home.
Mm-hmm. It has that reputation, doesn't it? Like it's some big, complicated thing.
Exactly, like climbing a culinary mountain or something. But that's what we're diving into today, right? Demystifying it.
Precisely. We've got this great recipe from Chef Luca, really detailed, and our mission basically is to pull out those key techniques.
The secrets.
Yeah, the little insights that make all the difference between meh and wow.
Yeah.
We want to show you it's, surprisingly achievable.
Okay, I'm ready. Unlocking the chicken biscuit secrets. So fundamentally, it breaks down into two main things, the biscuit and the chicken.
That's it. Two core components.
Let's start with the biscuits. Everyone wants that perfect flaky texture. What's the absolute must-do?
Okay, number one rule, cold ingredients, especially the fat. Chef Luca insists on cold, cubed, unsalted butter,
Mm.
right out of the fridge.
Or shortening for some.
Or cold shortening, yeah. Some people swear by it. The idea is you want those little pieces of cold fat distinct within the flour.
Right, not all blended in.
Exactly, because if it melts and blends in too early, you lose the layers. When it bakes, the water in that cold butter creates steam.
Ah, and the steam pushes the layers apart.
That's the magic. It puffs everything up, creates those beautiful flakes. Using butter that's even a bit soft can cut your flakiness by 50%.
Wow, 50%. Okay, so cold isn't just a suggestion, it's critical.
Non-negotiable for great biscuits.
Got it. So cold butter's in. What about handling the dough? I always worry about making it tough.
Yeah, that's the classic baker's fear.
Yeah.
Chef Luca has this specific folding method. You pat the dough into a rectangle, then fold it in thirds, like a letter. Give it a quarter turn, pat it out a bit, and fold it in thirds again.
Okay, like a business letter fold, twice.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And doing that simple fold creates way more layers. We're talking like 65% more defined flakes than just one fold.
Impressive.
But, and this is just as important, don't overmix. Resist that urge. Even a little extra mixing, maybe 10% too much, starts developing too much gluten.
Right, the stretchy stuff.
Yeah, and too much makes biscuits dense and chewy, not light and tender. You just want to mix until it barely comes together. Lumps are okay.
Okay, so cold butter, let her fold twice, gentle hands. Any other tricks from the chef for amazing biscuits?
Yes. For a really good rise, when you cut your biscuits, put them on the baking sheet so their sides are actually touching.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
It kind of forces them to support each other and push upwards instead of spreading out wide.
Clever.
Then bake them hot and fast, 450 degrees air, about 10 to 12 minutes until golden. Oh, and for extra tenderness, white lily flour is great, lower protein.
Good tip. What if you don't have buttermilk? Panic.
No need to panic. Quick substitute.
Mm-hmm.
Tablespoon of white vinegar or lemon juice in a cup of regular milk. Let it sit 5 minutes. Boom.
And that works pretty well.
Gets you about 90% of the tang and tenderness. It's a great backup.
Awesome. Okay, biscuits sound manageable with those tips. Now, the main event for many, the chicken.
Yeah.
How do we get it juicy inside, super crispy outside?
Right, the perfect combo. It really starts before the frying with a brine. Chef Luca uses a buttermilk brine with some hot sauce mixed in.
Buttermilk brine. Is that just for flavor?
Flavor, yes, but it's mainly about texture. The acidity in the buttermilk tenderizes the chicken, helps it hold on to more moisture. We're talking potentially up to 40% juicier chicken.
40%. Okay, definitely not skipping the brine then. How long?
Minimum 30 minutes.
Right.
But honestly, overnight is fantastic if you have the time. Really lets it work its magic.
Got it. So brining is key for juicy. What about that amazing crispy crust? That's the goal, right?
Absolutely. It's about the seasoned flour mix and how you apply it. Chef Luca's got a nice blend. Paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, cayenne, salt, pepper. Standard stuff, but balanced.
And the application.
The secret to that really craggy, super crispy texture, which adds maybe 30% more crunch, is pressing the flour firmly onto the chicken. Really pack it on there.
Like really get it in all the nooks and crannies.
Exactly. A light dusting just won't cut it. You want that thick, textured coating.
Okay, pack on the flour. Now the frying itself feels like the danger zone. What are the key points there?
Temperature, temperature, temperature. You need the oil stable at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. The biggest mistake, overcrowding the pan.
Ah, yeah, I've done that.
We all have. But adding too much cold chicken at once makes the oil temp crash, sometimes by 50 degrees.
And then you get greasy chicken.
Greasy, potentially undercooked chicken and no proper crust. So fry in batches, give the pieces space,
Yeah.
about 5 to 6 minutes per side.
Until golden brown?
Golden brown, yes, but don't just trust your eyes. Use a meat thermometer. You absolutely need that internal temp to hit 165 degrees out for safety and perfect cooking. Eyes are only like 70% reliable here.
Thermometer is essential. Got it. No crowding. Okay. Looking at the whole process, Chef Lucas says it's about 55 minutes total? That seems fast.
It is pretty efficient, yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently about 25% quicker than many standard restaurant approaches, which can push over 70 minutes. Makes it feel more doable for, say, a weekend brunch.
Definitely. And once you've got the basics down for the biscuits and chicken, then the fun begins. Customizing.
Exactly. That's where you make it your own. Chef Luca throws out ideas like honey butter.
Classic.
Gold pickle slices for tang, hot honey or maple syrup for sweet heat, maybe a spicy mayo. Endless possibilities, really.
Okay, now I'm really hungry. Those combos sound amazing. But what
Yeah.
if you want this deliciousness, but maybe a little lighter? Any healthier swaps?
Yep, Chef Luca covers that too. For the biscuits, try subbing half the all-purpose flour with whole wheat. Adds about 40% more fiber.
Okay, good option. And the chicken. Less frying.
Definitely. You can bake at 425 degrees AF for 20-25 minutes. Cuts fat by maybe 60%. Or the air fryer.
Ah, the air fryer solution.
Right. 390 degrees F for 12-14 minutes can cut fat by up to 70% and still get surprisingly crispy results.
Right.
Plus, you can use dairy-free milk alternatives for the brine and biscuits too.
That's great. Adaptable for different diets. And it's not just what you make, but how you serve it, right? Make it an experience.
Totally. Think bigger than just plating a sandwich. Chefs suggest maybe a breakfast board, your chicken biscuits alongside fresh fruit, hash browns, different toppings.
Like a build-your-own situation.
Exactly. He even notes that doing a sort of customizable biscuit bar for brunch boosts guest satisfaction by around 35%, makes it interactive and fun.
Love that idea. Okay, we've covered the road to success. What about the roadblocks? The common mistakes people make, the big no-nos.
Chef flags a few key ones. We already hammered the cold butter point. Warm butter is mistake number one for flaky biscuits. Overcrowding the fryer leads to sad, greasy chicken. Skipping the buttermilk brine, you lose like 30% of the potential tenderness and flavor right there.
Wow.
And a subtle one. Twisting the biscuit cutter when you cut the biscuits out.
Twisting, why is that bad?
It seals the edges of the dough layers, stops them from rising fully, can reduce the height by like 25%, just press straight down.
Huh. Never knew that.
And the last big one,
Yeah.
overmixing the biscuit dough. We talked about gluten overmixing makes them tough, maybe up to 40% tougher. Be gentle.
Those are fantastic, specific things to watch out for. Little details, big impact. Okay, last practical question. Leftovers. What's the best way to store everything?
Good question. For unbaked biscuit dough, fridge up to 3 days. Or biscuits, freeze them flat on a tray first, then bag them. Good for a month.
Okay, and cooked stuff.
Cooked biscuits are best eaten fresh, but okay, room temp for a day or two. Reheat gently in the oven, maybe 300 degrees of airfade, to revive them.
Not the microwave.
Definitely not for biscuits. Same for the fried chicken fridge, up to 3 days. Reheat in the oven or air fryer to get the crisp back. Microwave equals soggy mess. Kills maybe 70% of the crispiness.
Makes sense. And assemble fresh.
Always. Assembled chicken biscuits don't store well. Soggy bottoms are nobody's friend. Assemble right before you eat.
Perfect. Okay, so distilling it all down, the absolute keys seem to be keep those biscuit ingredients coldy, commit to the buttermilk brine for the chicken, and just actively avoid those common slip-ups like overcrowding or overmixing.
That's pretty much the core of it. Nail those fundamentals and you're well on your way to making truly fantastic restaurant-level chicken biscuits at home.
Well, this has been incredibly enlightening and hunger-inducing. It really does sound like that amazing breakfast is within reach if you just pay attention to the details.
Absolutely. It's a great example of how understanding the why behind the steps elevates a simple dish into something really special.
So, for you listening, thinking about how this recipe mixes old school stuff like buttermilk brining with newer things like the air fryer option, maybe think about your own favorite classic dishes. What could benefit from that same kind of thoughtful tweak or modern update in your kitchen?
Interesting thought. Blending tradition and innovation.
Definitely something tasty to chew on.